Thank you so much for joining me for the weekly Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle Cards readings. I'm so excited to have you here with me. We're going to be using the Intuitive Life Coaching app to do a weekly overview every Sunday. There are actually this is what it will look like if you download it on your phone. This app is available for your iPhone as well as for Android phones. And there are 4 buttons on the screen. The first one is readings, which takes you into the different readings you can do. You can do a 1 card, a 3 card, or a 5 card reading. And then there's the browse button. And if you have the free version, you'll only see 11 cards, but there's actually 77 in this deck. And then there is the journal, which allows you to save your readings by time and date. And then there's the about, which tells you a little bit more about me and Indigo software. So let's get started.
Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for this week's Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle card reading. My name is Kelly T. Smith, and I'm going to be doing a 5 card reading for you guys to look at the energy for the week of January 11th through the 18th. Before we get started, I want to let you guys know that many of you are probably already experiencing some really intense energy for this week. And you know, it's something that's been affecting me since Saturday night, and so I prayed about it. I asked for guidance about it, and I know what I'm getting from my intuitive guidance and my connection to source and what is happening to me. And I really feel like I want to share that with all of you guys today, because it is a beautiful thing, but at the same time, it is very, I don't want to use the word hard, but it is an emotionally intense experience. I feel like it's an energy that is moving through everyone, if not now, soon. And this energy is really about clearing out the false ideas of who you think you are. And it is so intense and such an intense experience that it feels like everything that you didn't even realize was buried within you is starting to rise up, and almost like you're facing everything all at once. And the reason for this is because huge transformations are coming. Huge. It is a big metamorphosis time for everyone, and that is just coming from the energy alone. And one of the things that you're going to notice within yourself is that the things that you deny for yourself or about yourself, the gifts that you hold back from the world, the truth of your feelings, those are all coming up loud. And it could feel like a bout of depression. It could feel like you're just completely paralyzed with fear. But I want you to understand that it's just a temporary thing that is happening. And it's going to push you to dig deep within your soul. Go back into your center. Connect with your inner self. Connect with source. And as you do, you're going to come out transformed, because it's an experience of, it's almost too painful to not be who I really am type of feeling. That's coming from my perspective, and also my intuitive guidance as far as the energy that we're experiencing is that if we're not being true to ourselves, it's going to feel really painful within you. And if you're experiencing this inner turmoil, or you know, just a feeling of despair or depression or confusion, this is where it's coming from. And it is temporary. You are moving through it. You're going to have to take a lot of time alone, do the things that you need to do to just be able to process things. Trying to ignore it and distract yourself is just going to make it even worse of a feeling of being closed up within you. It's like we're busting outside of this cocoon now. I mean, literally, like any energy that you've been holding back that has to do with you who you really are and who you want to be. You just can't hold it back anymore. It's all coming out now. It's a feeling of being restricted, and you can no longer operate from that place. So I really wanted to share that message with you guys. I'm looking forward to seeing how the cards kind of align with that message today. And, feel free to comment your experiences with the energy on this post. I'd love to hear from you. So we're going to do the reading now. Draw 5 cards for this week. We always want to make sure that we get very centered. We call on our angels and guides and focus on whatever it is we're asking for guidance for. In this situation, we have positive life changes. Our emotional challenge is universal bank. Our solution is judgment. Coaching advice is surrender. And the potential card for this week is automatic negative thoughts. Let's go ahead and tune into this card. So like I was telling you before, this energy that is coming, like almost busting us out of our cocoon for all of these things to take place, for us to honor who we really are, and for us to allow changes to happen, because we get stuck in our comfort zone and we don't want things to change, even though we're conflicted and we do want things to change. We become miserable because we don't want things, because we want things to change, but we won't allow them to change. And we don't allow them to change out of fear. And that's the energy of this week, is the fear of change, the fear of moving forward, the fear of letting go, the fear of knowing that you're going to be safe, that you're going in a completely new direction now. And this direction is what is for your highest good. And although you may not be able to see it clearly, you have a good idea of where you're headed, but you don't know how to get there. This is where the message for this week is coming. If you're resisting these changes, you're going through an inner process of clearing out that turmoil that's going to help you to get clarity, but it's not going to feel good at first. This card says, positive life changes are ahead if you choose to trust in the process. Everything is about to change for you. This could represent a new job, a new birth, a proposal, a new job offer, a move to a new city or state, or an opportunity that moves your life in a completely new direction. This is a very exciting time. If you've been expecting something, you're about to receive some very surprising news. Changes in the air and everything is being rearranged in your favor. This card also comes to you to remind you to go with the flow of these events. It's natural to feel fear or resistance in the midst of great change. So that's the energy I was talking about again. That sentence just popped out at me. It's natural to feel fear or resistance in the midst of great change. But this energy is really pushing us to face that fear and resistance, because a lot of times we're on autopilot and we don't even know what's blocking us or what's in our way. This week you're gonna know, because there's really no way to hide from that. You're gonna have to look at it. Do not let this fear or resistance keep you from allowing what's to come. You're being asked to trust in these events. Even good change can be scary at times. In times of great change, everything must fall apart so it can fall together. That's another huge one. Everything must fall apart so it can fall together. So if you start to notice people, places, and situations leaving your life at this time, it is to make room for the new exciting events that are on their way. Let go and allow this process. The end results will be what you have been asking for. Big changes are in store for you. You're being asked to let go, allow, and have faith. You will be pleasantly surprised if you do. So that stepping out and allowing and letting go and knowing you're going to be saved and trusting your inner guidance and movement and, facing what's really going on within you that's keeping you from allowing these changes to take place. In the emotional challenge, we have Universal Bank, and I want to explain to everyone, anytime there's a financial difficulty in your life, anytime you feel like the money is just not there, you can't seem to get a grasp on how to always have this universal abundance that you always hear flowing into your life effortlessly. Money actually challenges you to push yourself outside of your comfort zone, because money is what we need in our human mind in order to be able to survive in this world. And so it activates all our fears, and it also pushes us. And anytime we feel like it's not there and we're challenged financially, it's because we have to push past our comfort zone, and it actually pushes us in a different direction. Maybe it forces us to go back to school. Maybe it forces us to really look at our beliefs about money. Maybe it forces us to really put the practice of manifestation and law of attraction into process. Maybe it really pushes us to do our true life work, because we might be scared of marketing ourselves. We might be scared of getting out in the world. We might be scared of failing. But now we have no choice, because if we don't do something quick, then there just won't be any money there. Our angels and guides are coming through and saying, if you have that challenge, that financial challenge this week or month or even past year, recognize that it is there to push you even further into understanding why you are not allowing yourself to move forward. It's kind of a catalyst for change, because anytime we feel like we have to make something happen, we're more likely to push past our fears because we have no choice. So we're not really thinking about it and analyzing it and stepping on eggshells around other people to not upset them. When we're backed up against a wall, we have no choice but to move, and that's where we might feel like we are right now. The Universal Bank card always lets you know that the money is just a symbol. Money is a symbol of exchange, and it is our perception of how we can or are allowed to receive money that actually blocks the flow or allows us to experience abundance. So this week we are going to be doing some major work on that, because money is always there to challenge us. It challenges us in our relationships. It challenges us in our own relationship with Source and our inner self and feeling safe in the world. This card says everything you need to thrive is already here. It's time for you to make a withdrawal from the Universal Bank. The Universal Bank is the infinite intelligence within you and your connection to true wealth and abundance. In order to make a withdrawal from the Universal Bank, all you need to do is request it and believe that it's on its way. See it as already done. If it is hard for you to believe that you're worthy or deserving of what you want or need, it will be hard for you to manifest it into your reality. You're being asked to use your imagination and visualization skills to help you draw to you that which you're requesting. Imagine that there is a beautiful bank, which is not of this world. This bank knows who you really are and knows that you are worthy of everything you need to thrive. The teller at the bank greets you with unconditional love and assures you that everything you need is ready to be delivered to you. The bank teller pulls out a golden scroll and shows you your true worth and how much you really have in your savings account. Your true worth is beyond anything that could be considered of monetary value. She hands you a withdrawal slip and asks you to fill it out. She tells you to write down exactly what you need or desire in this moment. She assures you that once you get clear about what it is you want, all you have to do is hand her the slip and she will give you what you requested. She asks you to have faith and knowing that it will be delivered to you in your physical world in perfect divine timing, delivered in a way that is for your highest good and the highest good of everyone around you. This card is a beautiful omen that what you are requesting is already done. See it, believe it, and be open to receiving it, and it shall be yours. So that is our challenge this week. That if we take that leap of faith and if we move forward and allow things to change, will we be financially secure? Will we have money? Or are we going to, have everything we hold dear to us taken away because we can't afford things? These are all things that are coming up within, that are deeply ingrained in our subconscious, that are being cleared this week. The solution this week is judgment, and I get a big message right away that judgment of being judged from other people, but also judging yourself is huge. We are picking on ourselves too much. We are trying to be perfect before we allow ourselves to accomplish something. We're saying, no, everything isn't perfect yet. Everything isn't lined up, and I don't have all the answers yet. I don't have enough experience. But really, we are ready, and we keep judging ourselves. And this judgment of ourselves causes us to shrink and become smaller than what we actually are. And then we believe that we're not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm just not allowed to do whatever it is we want to do. So it is a huge message, but also I know last week we were being challenged with our relationships. So this card is a huge relationship message, and it's asking you to let go of judgments of others and also let go of judgments of yourself. You're being asked to let go of all judgments and forgive those that judge you. You need not worry about others' judgments toward you. If you're currently experiencing judgment or criticism directed at you, you're being asked to let it go. Do not hold on to their judgments and do not allow them to define you. The person that is judging you is really judging themselves. Okay, I want to also clarify the judgments. Do not hold on to their judgments and do not allow them to define you. So that's another thing for this week, is that as we're really going through this inner transformation, all of the things that we've been told in our life that we're not allowed to do by other people is something that we adapted those beliefs within ourselves, those judgments that people will judge us if we follow our truth, or if we are, you know what I'm trying to say. If we really align with what our soul needs, then we worry about everybody else around us getting mad at us and telling us we lost it, or we're crazy, we're going down the wrong path. If you're going to follow your inner truth, if you're going to align with the things that are for your highest good, your true soul life's purpose, you have to be willing to let go of what other people think about you, because they're not always going to be on your side, and you're not always going to get the validation that you want from everyone around you. Sometimes you have to be the one that validates yourself in order for you to feel like you're good enough to do what it is you're wanting to do. When someone is pointing a finger, it's because on a subconscious level, they're judging themselves. For whatever reason, something you said or did triggered their insecurities. This is not your fault, and it is in your best interest to let it go and move on. Do not allow yourself to get stuck in the endless cycle of trying to please someone who refuses to look within themselves. At the same time, you're being asked to let go of all judgments toward others. All judgments are self-judgments. So if you find yourself being judgmental or overly critical of someone, ask yourself, what is happening inside of you that is triggering these insecurities? If you're willing to listen to the truth behind your judgments, it will be easier for you to let this go. As soon as you see this for what it is, it will feel as if a huge weight has been lifted from your shoulders. You're being asked to let go of all judgments toward others and forgive those that judge you. In the coaching advice, again, we have surrender, and I've been talking about this from the very beginning of this reading. And that's because it's time. It's time to allow yourself to do what it is you've been guided to do. But also, I'm getting a lot of messages about people that are being challenged with their health, people that are being challenged with so much. Any challenges that is happening is always bringing you back inside of yourself. And so if you are going through something that has to do with your health and changes in relationships and jobs and all of these things, this card is reminding you also to hand it over, to allow something much bigger than you to carry you, to really strengthen your faith this week. It says, release and surrender all control and let nature take its course. And this is about letting go of the things that no longer serve us and allowing ourselves to move into a different direction. We're being called to change our habits, our eating habits, our health habits, all of those things. Take better care of ourselves. Let go of the things that are not good for us this week. And that includes people, places, and even jobs. You have done all you can do. This situation calls for you to release control and surrender. When you're no longer trying to control things and you let them take their natural course, surprising outcomes are likely to take place. What you think you need and what is for your highest good are two different things. Now it's time for you to ask for what is in your highest good and the highest good of everyone involved. Be willing to step back, let go of this situation, and you will see it begin to move on its own accord. You're not meant to control this. It's out of your hands. Be open-minded and willing to look at the bigger picture. This situation is bigger than just you. It involves the fate of many. When you let go and ask for the highest good to unfold for everyone around you, you may be surprised at what happens next. Know that Spirit is in charge, and when you surrender and trust, everything will work out. Everything will shift in a way that is even better than you had hoped for. Your soul is asking you to let go and surrender the situation over to a higher power. And in the potential card, we have automatic negative thoughts. Again, because all of this energy is just causing us to really face our fears and face the things that may be repressed within us that are holding us back from making the decisions that are for our highest good. We're going to have all of these, thoughts. Our mind's going to start to get chaotic and try to convince us of, the worst case scenario. And this card is automatic thoughts, is about acknowledging that they're just thoughts and they don't mean anything until you give them energy, until you accept them as real. As soon as you accept them as real and give them an identity, then they can affect your life. But if you just observe them and allow them to move on and you don't attach an emotional response to them, then it doesn't have as much of an effect. It says you're learning to take charge of the thoughts you choose to give life to. Are you feeling overwhelmed by automatic negative thoughts? You may find that as soon as you focus on something that makes you feel bad, they come swarming in. They come out of nowhere, and you find yourself wondering, whose thoughts are these? What you focus on in the form of thoughts will begin to multiply. So if you find yourself focusing on an uncomfortable situation, you will find that similar thoughts will start to take shape. If you give energy to those thoughts, they will overwhelm you. This is the nature of the human mind. The key is to understand that we have thousands of thoughts flooding our minds on a daily basis. This card comes to you today because you may be feeding the wrong thoughts. If you find yourself overwhelmed by negative thoughts, try not to take them so seriously. Then purposely think about something that makes you feel better. Understand that the thoughts that shape your reality are the ones that you give energy to. Begin to purposely give energy to life-giving thoughts that make you feel good, and then let go of the ones that don't. This card comes to you today to remind you that negative thoughts are a part of the human experience. The ones that matter are the ones that you choose to give life to. You truly are in charge of the thoughts you choose to feed. Again, the situation for this week is positive life changes. So I'm sure so many of you are going through major transformations in your life, and that is to pave the way for wonderful new things. And that's all taking place. And it feels like a very exciting week. And at the same time, it can feel a bit overwhelming if we don't take the time to do the inner work so that we can let go of the things that are holding us back. Thank you so much for joining me for the weekly Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle card reading. My name is Kelly Smith, and as always, you can find me at www.intuitivelifecoachingwithkelly.com.